Welcome back to Pain Diaries. I am excited to introduce our special guest, Jonathan Crumbly. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Jonathan.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Suzanne. It's good to see you again, too.
So good to see you. I have you to thank for the birth of Pain Diaries. So it is an honor to have you here with us today.
I don't know if I had responsibility for Pain Diaries specifically, but exposing you to media and all that type of stuff, I'll take a little credit for that.
I'll give you all the credit for getting me here in this studio, and then I created this. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, but you're the star.
So today, we're going to talk about your practice and your business, and you're the marketing director for your group.
Sure.
Tell us about the world of insurance and what you do.
So, since 2013, I've been involved with insurance. We started out in the health area for individuals with the Affordable Care Act. A lot of people know that as Obamacare. That's how I got into the ministry. My mother wanted to expand. She was already a Medicare insurance agent. She wanted to expand into the Affordable Care Act market because it was just starting at that particular point, and she needed someone to help her with it. So she called upon her son. So that's how I ended up there. But we've grown. We still do a lot of individual business, but we also do group business. And I actually do a lot of marketing to physicians specifically primary care doctors, but we do a lot of interaction with physicians in general. But that's a major place that I do marketing, and that's one of the best places I've seen. I'm getting the most traction with physicians and being able to reach people, because that's our number one goal, is to help as many people as we possibly can. I know when people hear about an insurance agent, they think about somebody that's just trying to sell them something, but we try to take a different approach in what we do.
No, that's awesome. I mean, nobody really wants somebody to keep knocking on their door and selling them something.
Right.
But as physicians, from my end, and primary care doctors, our goal is to help people.
Correct.
And if you can facilitate that, that's huge. I mean, that makes our jobs easier, because if we have a contact that we can reach out to help a patient then better their life, it's a win-win.
Well, so let me give you my spiel that I tell the physicians when I come, because I've never visited your practice in this light. So when I go into a doctor's office, what I tell them is, you focus on taking care of people and trying to get them better. I can help your practice in that you don't have to worry about insurance anymore. So we're going to help all of your patients who say to you, I can't afford the prescription that you just prescribed for me. I can't afford even to go to another specialist. I can't, my insurance plan doesn't have a fitness benefit. So what do I do about that? Well, you don't necessarily have those answers. Even doctors' offices say they have issues with the referral system with certain carriers, or they have problems with contracting with certain carriers. Because we have interactions with the carriers all the time, because we're all brokers, so the carriers come to us and actually ask for feedback about what's going on out there in the streets, out there in the industry. So we communicate the things that we see when we're out there. And a lot of the times when I visit physician practices, the issue is that they are just overwhelmed by diversity is actually a positive word, but they're overwhelmed by all the different insurance plans, right? So they don't really know what's going on with any of them.
Yeah, I mean, insurance is the biggest pain, is a headache.
Right.
It's so complicated. You can have Blue Cross of Texas, but which plan of Blue Cross of Texas do you have?
Which
and there's
they
just
have several networks.
Never-ending options that patients can choose from, and I don't know if this plan covers this, or which medicine's covered under which plan. I'm a physician and I'm busy seeing patients, trying to take care of them. I don't know what each plan has to offer, unfortunately, and that's great that you can come in and help patients and help the physicians navigate that.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. So the road runs both ways, right? So for you, what I bring to your practice is that I can communicate with those people who have issues with their insurance plan, and even if they don't necessarily have an issue with their insurance plan, they may not understand what their benefits are and how to use them effectively. So we communicate that with them as well. So it may just be that person doesn't know, because I know some of your people may have issues even seniors have issues getting to the doctor, but they don't know that their Medicare insurance plan has transportation as part of, as a benefit. So, but if they don't know that,
right,
then they're going to miss appointments, right?
They don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
and
exactly.
Those things that they don't know might actually be helpful for them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, just about every benefit that's out there, whether you want to use it or not, you can, if you don't need it for yourself, you probably can use it for somebody else. Right? We tell some of our patients, we call them clients, you call them patients.
Right.
Same people. we tell our people, actually is what we call them, is our people, we tell them all the time that come to us when you have an issue. You know, even if it means that we're going to help you make a phone call to the carrier so you can get some more clarity. I was just answering an email for a gentleman. He got what is called not a chargeback, he was balance billed for a colonoscopy.
Wow.
He just got a $486 bill, and he has insurance. So he really wants to know what the heck is going on. Well, we're going to help him through every step of the process to get that resolved. The first thing we want to do is look at his policy and determine what is his copay for something like that. Should he even be paying anything at all? Then we're going to go the next step to figure out why he received the bill, all that good stuff. So that means calls to the carriers, all that good stuff. And we don't get a resolution from a phone call, then it's emails and other channels that we have. So I like to say that we're the problem solvers.
I like that.
For doctors, you know, because again, if your patient is unhappy with their insurance plan, then they can get frustrated with their whole medical experience, and then now you don't have the continuity of care that doctors value so much.
Absolutely. And what I find interesting, because people, they just sign up for maybe this plan looked like the easiest, or if this is the most expensive plan, I'm going to choose that one because then everything's covered. But what they don't necessarily always realize is there might be this giant deductible, which they're on the hook for that amount of money before the actual insurance benefits necessarily kick in that are covered.
That's
and
correct.
So if you have a $1,000 deductible, like you're pretty lucky. But some people have a $15,000 deductible.
Oh yeah, that's a family deductible.
Yeah.
So that's what, and again, that's what we do. That's what we do. We don't. So I like to say you can relate to this. You know, people can go on the internet and diagnose themselves, right? They can even with the chat bots and everything today, they can get real specific about their particular ailments and all those things and get loads of information. But those people, if you're being honest with me and honest with your audience, those can be some of the worst patients, right?
Yeah, Dr. Google is not my friend.
Now, I'm not discouraging anybody from using the resources that are in and on the internet, but what I would encourage people to do is to talk to an insurance professional, right? We go through licensing and accreditations with different carriers for a reason.
Right.
There's a reason why the insurance carrier is willing to pay us commissions, because we go through the rigor of learning as much as we can about the complexities of insurance so we can communicate to people in a simple way how their insurance works.
Absolutely. And it's like another language sometimes.
It is.
When you read these policies. Because when I get a denial on a procedure that I order, and I'm trying to read the policy, why it's being denied, I'm like, where is the summary? Where's the English? It's literally jumbles of not necessarily misinformation, but it's just the way it's
technical
outlined, it's technical, and it's almost designed to confuse us.
That's because insurance people write the stuff, right?
This is true. They're
and
the author.
It makes sense to us.
These are our rules. You guys need to follow it. Now, ultimately, you know, in an ideal world, I wouldn't have to deal with insurance.
Right.
I wouldn't have had to sign a contract with an insurance company that made all these rules, and you, as the patient, wouldn't have had to choose that insurance.
Right.
You can just come to me. I can do what I need to do for you, and we're all good. You know, you pay for that service, and that's it. But that's not how it works right now.
No, we're going to, so we can talk about the chicken and the egg. Is the insurance company responsible for procedures being and billing being so high, or is it that the billing is so high and now the insurance companies are trying to compensate it and navigate the situation? So it doesn't matter. The bottom line is people have to figure out how they're going to pay for the services, because all of the training that you do, all the continued education that you do, and your expertise that you already have, you need to be paid for it, right? You need to be compensated for all the time and the effort that you put forth to be a gatekeeper, so to speak, for their health.
Right, and it is being a gatekeeper. I had a patient this week, she called my staff and said, can I just have Dr. Manzi call me to answer these questions? And I'm like, well, if I call her, we might be on the phone for 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't know. So I said, okay, just make an appointment. And she was really annoyed because she used to have Medicare and then she switched to a managed care plan. And so she has a copay if I do a telemedicine or any visit with her. So she had to pay her $50. But when I did the video conversation with her, we were on the phone for 20 minutes.
Right.
Had I not made her have an actual visit, it would have been an unpaid service.
That's right.
And so I value my time. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get to where I am for the education and the training and the constant. I should be compensated, right? And that's where the insurance becomes sticky with patients.
Because listen, so let's take what you just said, and people can try to parse your words, but here's the reality. I know from personal experience, from being associated with you for over a year now, I know that you offer advice all the time to people.
Yep.
Right? You offer free advice in networking meetings. People ask Dr. Manzi a question and you're going to answer. You're not going to say, oh, just give me a call at these certain hours and make sure you go to my my splash page where you can pay me real fast before you have the appointment. No, you just answer the question, right? So you're passing out free knowledge on a regular basis. So, but when you ask me during the workday, I expect to be compensated for it. That's all.
Right.
And that's for anybody. You know,
exactly.
People don't come to tax offices and expect people to do their tax and look over their W-2 real quick and let them know how much do you think I'm going to get on my return. No, sit down. Let me put the numbers in the software. Exactly. And of course this is my fee right here. But yeah, let's do it the way it's supposed to be done.
Even though our goal is to help people. Yes, we're helping you, but if you signed up with that insurance and I signed up with that insurance, I need to do it per their rules.
Exactly.
And that's that.
And one thing a lot of people don't know is that sometimes the communication between the doctor's office and the carrier can be off, because if the right codes aren't put in for the right for the procedure, then you're going to be charged.
This happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Jonathan, I mean, this is a wealth of information. I hope we've elaborated enough so people can even reach out to you if they have any questions about their plans and if they even need health insurance, because there are so many options now.
Oh yes. Oh yes, and you mentioned managed care plans and Medicare Advantage and all that stuff. There's so much out there, but what we do in our, I want to say practice for some reason, so I'm sitting next to you. What we do in our business is try to break down, distill all of that down into what's important to you, right? Because just like you go to a car dealership, the car dealership probably has 12 different models for that particular year that they're selling, but you got to pick one for you. There's one particular car that you want that's going to suit your needs and your wants, right?
Exactly.
So you have to figure out what that car is for you. In the car business, they call it land you want a car, right? So it's the same thing in the insurance industry. Because the options are so vast, we need to have a real conversation with you to determine what it is that you need and then what matches up closely to your needs as far as an insurance plan and the benefits. Because literally, when I'm helping someone, there are 130 options for individual plans that they can choose from. So
how do people reach out to you? What's the best contact?
Well, the best contact is my phone number, which has been on the screen, 832-263-8314, or they can reach us via my email. That's my first name, Jonathan, @GGC Group Corp, the same as my website there. So you can even fill out the contact page on my website, ggcgroupcorp.com, easy enough, and then we'll receive that as an email and we'll reach back out to you.
Awesome, Jonathan. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Pain Diaries.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to be here.
We look forward to seeing you again. This is Dr. Suzanne Manzi. We'll be right back with a commercial break.